I think, you know, even though so much is changing online all the time, I get that question a lot. How do you keep up? Diving into online marketing at that time, things change, but they not really. Like, the biggest change was in SEO, and Penguin came out and made quality more valuable than quantity, and that is still where we're shifting. That's where my instincts were even at the time. The idea to go direct, to own your relationships, to be connected directly to your clients is still the message that I'm sharing, especially now, when we are all online based. This is more relevant than ever, and we don't want to put all our eggs in a basket that we're not in control of, or that we don't own, or that isn't building value for our brand or our assets as an entrepreneur or a business. And so the way that I approached online marketing at the time ended up being called inbound marketing, which is the marketing that you really own as a company. It's the organic strategies to connect with leads and build community. And those strategies end up building value in your brand, your company, your assets, your content. Um, and I really think that now more than ever, it shows us that yes, online is important, but we don't want to just rely on, let's say, social media that tomorrow could shut down or start charging, or already puts a lot of limits and is in control of what you see, when, and who you connect with. So my line that I tell people is like, those are Facebook's friends. Like, they're not your friends until you have their email address. They're not your friends until you have their phone number, until you're in direct contact with them. And so the way that I even teach online marketing combines the inbound marketing method with web design and content marketing. And it reinforces that there's three phases of what we're dealing with. And it's strategic management, it's reputation management, which is where SEO and social media fall, and it's huge. But relationship management happens with email marketing directly to your contacts, your database, and through the website that hopefully you own and that represents the value of your brand.
Okay. Okay. And so what you basically say is that apart from being able to manage your the relationship with your customers, also you talk a lot about independence from
I
big
guess so.
platforms in the way that I understand it. Um,
Yes.
do you think anything else is important, the way you work from your perspective, like apart from independence, when you look at how marketing today or also in the future, with the perspective
Yeah.
that the way you also know how social media platforms, for example, work and the limitations they give. Is there other things that you think that are really important to consider?
Yeah, the key word in that system and in these conversations is relationships. I believe now we're ready to, like, put at the forefront the fact that relationships is the currency in business. It's really the currency that, as a marketer, at least I've realized, it is my job to attract, build, and maintain long-term relationships for clients. And that brings up the word human, that this is a human story. And I do also have a lot of gratitude for my background in yoga and meditation and nutrition and wellness and general health, which serves me constantly in this process as well, especially in crisis. So then and now, having my personal practices be rooted in those techniques that help with emotional regulation and stress management, that allows me to then meet these clients in these vulnerable areas. Even if it's not in a crisis time, it's difficult to promote yourself. It's difficult to talk about yourself. Like, you can do that for other people, but we can't be the observer and the observed at the same time. So it's very difficult to tell your own story, and you need someone to do that for you. And that's a vulnerable place, and that's a intimate place. And so at the end of the day, regardless of the technology that we're using and how far it goes, we're human beings behind it. Every click is, in the sense of a purchase of a relationship that's being built, is a human on the other side of that click. And so I think that, where I'm getting to speak about more and more, which is a sign of it being something that we're more and more ready for and more relevant for our times, especially again now, given this crisis, is our humanity. The fact that we are energetic, emotional, sentient beings, and that's really, behind the numbers that you value in your business, behind your strategies are people with feelings and, human realities that we need to, I think, honor and connect to and ideally add value to.